joining us right now from the Dallas Morning News, one of the beat writers covering the Dallas Cowboys. David Moore joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So is the news filtered in the Cowboys building right now?
Yeah, they've been operating under the assumption really for most of the morning that while they hadn't been informed officially, they were operating under the assumption that he was gone, and they were putting their focus on finding a replacement for him going forward. So they are braced for this news.
So who is the replacement going to be? In-house? Or is it Ryan Matthews who's been sitting there in
Ryan
Philadelphia?
Matthews, Joseph Randall would be part of an equation. They're focusing on the draft. They have and will continue to call and kind of gauge the market for the available backs who are in free agency right now. They would bring one in if it's viable, and I would say viable for them means inexpensive. I think the money that they had carved out that they were willing to pay DeMarco Murray will now be used to upgrade the defense, and they will shift their emphasis to the draft to find a lead back to come in and follow in the footsteps of the league's leading rusher.
Yeah, I mean, let's not lose sight of the fact Bruce Carter bolted for the Bucs. Rolando McClain couldn't finish the season. And so they obviously have some fish to fry on the defensive side of the ball. But we all know that Mr. Jones is attuned to the public relations aspect of running a team and what it means, certainly in the Metroplex, to be the guy in charge of the Dallas Cowboys. How do you think he's going to address losing DeMarco Murray in division to the Eagles with the Dallas fan base, David?
Well, I think they were prepared to lose DeMarco Murray, if the price got out of their range. I think they were prepared for that. I don't believe they were prepared to lose him to Philadelphia. I don't think that they or really anyone else considered that a viable scenario up until the last 48 hours. So that's the unexpected twist that makes this really delicious going forward when you look at division games. And obviously you have to look at Dallas and Philadelphia as the two prime contenders in that division based on what we've seen over the last couple of seasons as far as their ability to be a factor in the NFC. So that's certainly going to make that more interesting. Jerry Jones, it's going to be interesting because for so many years, he's been criticized for, you've overpaid players too much, and in doing that, you can't fill out your roster, and that's why we've been bad for so long. Now that he's drawn a line in the financial sand and says, well, we're not going to pay DeMarco Murray because this is beyond what we determined his value to be, I don't think that's going to make people happy either. I think they're going to be upset unless someone comes in and they're still able to run at an acceptable level next season. I know a lot of people, and Jason Garrett has said this, that he thought DeMarco Murray was as responsible as anyone for the turnaround this past season, with the passion with which he played, the physical nature, the demeanor he brought out there on the field. I think the Cowboys will argue that formula is a little different. They will argue that the offensive line and DeMarco Murray in that order is what has helped his turnaround. And we're going to see if that bears out.
David, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Sure thing. Thanks a lot.
You bet. That's David Moore, the Dallas Morning News.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.